Forbes, not the magazine, but just a regular old person there from Mobile, Alabama, hit us up. He said, what are some of the quarterback battles to watch this spring? Okay, I got 5 situations I'm watching. I don't think all these are battles. You're from Mobile. Got to talk about Alabama. I have done some digging. The shovel's over here in the corner. I think Ty Simpson's the overwhelming favorite to win that starting job. I know there's going to be a lot of talk, as there should be, about the fact that DeBoer, when he was at Washington, he recruited Austin Mack, and Ryan Grubb was there, and they recruited Austin Mack, and so, they've worked with him, they know who he is, and now he's transferred to Alabama, and he's been there a year. I know all that. Knowing all that, I'm telling you, I think it's Ty Simpson's job to lose, and he could lose it. That's what God invented spring football for. So he could lose it. I mean, once upon a time, Jalen Hurts was going to have to wait his turn, and Blake Barnett was going to be the starter, and then he wasn't. However, if I were at FanDuel, and FanDuel was sick enough to put odds on who the starting quarterback is going to be in February, Ty Simpson, minus 650 or so. That's where I'm putting the money right now. I like Ty Simpson to win that job. At Notre Dame, no portal pickup. It's been pretty normal for them to go to the portal last couple of cycles. Steve Angeli, you see him there. We got C.J. Carr in the mix. We got Kenny Minchey in the mix. I think most people around the program would tell you pretty strong lean to Angeli. We saw him come in the Penn State game, and we were right there watching it, and he looked good. Now, what do we make of a drive or two? Who knows? But I think the pretty overwhelming sentiment around there, going into spring at least, is that's his job to lose. But again, competition's a great thing. And it's not so overwhelming at many of these places that it's a formality. Like, I wouldn't classify it as that. At Colorado, let me cut in really quick and ask, look, prayer hands, please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And if you think you're subscribed, check and make sure. Over 50% of you aren't. It's free, it doesn't sign you up for anything, and it helps us keep the show free, college football year-round, the way God intended it. All right, back to the clip. This one will be up in the air. So when Juju Lewis went there, when he committed there, the thinking is, okay, Shador's gone to the NFL draft, Juju Lewis commits, 5-star quarterback, etc., and so he'll be the starter. He'll just start as a freshman. I think that I'm not going to say he was promised that. I don't know the details of his recruitment, but it seemed like he was under the impression that would be the case. Again, I don't speak firsthand there. And then Caden Salter transferred from Liberty. Now, in 2023, Salter lit it up. In 2024, much different story. I thought something was wrong with him last year. To my knowledge, they didn't confirm that. But, we didn't have it confirmed, quote unquote, that Quinn Ewers was hurt at Texas this year. But yet I kept winking and nodding at you every week when I talked about Texas because everyone behind the scenes knew Quinn Ewers was hurt. It's just Sark never confirmed it, so we didn't really say it. Well, I don't know that they ever confirmed that Caden Salter was hurt, but if he wasn't hurt, then there's got to be some other explanation for why he dipped precipitously in production this past year. So he goes to Colorado. If he regains that 2023 form, I'd expect him to be able to start there. But it'll be a good battle to watch. Ohio State, I don't know that that's a battle. I really expect Julian Sayin to be the starting quarterback there. Former 5-star guy, commits to Bama, Saban leaves. He transfers to Ohio State. He's on the team last year, so he's not a true freshman. He'd just be a first-year starter. Tavian St. Clair is a monster, man. We watched both of these guys the last 2 years out in California at Elite 11. St. Clair, hey, look, here's the way I would look at that. If he started as a true freshman, that would mean he beat out another stud, which means he's an extreme stud, an ES. I think that's recruiting terminology, scouting terminology. I'm sure Jordan Reed's saying that a lot in Indianapolis this week. An ES. Got him classified as an extreme stud. So I'm saying Julian Sayin until otherwise noted. Now, you got an offensive coordinator change there. So Chip Kelly's out the door, Hartline elevated. Ryan Day says he's calling the plays. It's his offense. There's still familiarity there no matter what. I'm going Julian Sayin. At Michigan, the big question, the multi-million-dollar question, literally, is will Bryce Underwood start as a true freshman? He doesn't have to. Mikey Keene's on the roster. He has started many, many games. He played at UCF. He's played at Fresno. So it's a good situation. You've got an experienced guy, sort of a veteran guy, and that makes your floor not so low. But the ceiling is, of course, with Bryce Underwood. And he looked different to me than any player that's come out of high school the last few cycles. It was a huge deal when he decommitted from LSU. Now we get to find out. See, the question that you've found out with coaches a lot is, if you pay coaches more money, does the fan base expect quicker results? The answer is a resounding yes. Is that a fair way to look at roster construction and team chemistry and whatnot? Not necessarily, but it hasn't mattered. Well, now with the players, since the players are getting paid this much money, especially at quarterback, you will have a lot of people who say, well, you don't have time to develop anymore. We're not paying you to sit on the bench and develop. You could pay the guy $5 million. You could pay him $5 billion. His evolution as a player is going to be what it's going to be. You don't get to toss him in the microwave just because you paid a lot of money for him, you know? And even just saying that sentence, I feel kind of gross. But it's college football right now. It's okay. Hey, good for everybody. We're all making money.